Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. This morning, let us play with tantric chanting to help us to meditate like a Jedi. Of the various chants and exercises that we will play with, they can fit snugly into three categories. Channels, winds, and drops, also known as energy work. Slice through, known as mindfulness and meditation, as well as leap over, also known as passive contemplation. We're going to begin with our first of two exercises of channels, winds, and drops, known in Tibetan as tikle and in English as simply bliss and letting go, or simply energy work. As the tip of our left index finger supports the great knuckle of our right index finger, palms up in our lap, let us practice the third enlightenment factor's energy work, also known as bliss and letting go, in such a manner that it feels as if the force itself is giving us a kiss on the top of our head. To do this, we require neither superstitious faith nor exhausting visualizations, or I should say rigid visualizations. All we need to do is play with the following 6 syllables. Lama come to pay crown. Pei is a syllable, a seed syllable associated with the crown of our head. In this image, this bronze reminds us of ourselves, the meditator. This red figure reminds us either A, of the teacher to whom we share the closest of connections, B, the amalgam of all our teachers, or C, simply the personification of the teachings attributed to the Buddha. Together, let's chant. Lama come to pay crown. 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 We are now preparing for our first of 4 practices of the slice through, wherein we transcend the duality, the tyranny of dualities obscuring emotions of dread and desire. In Tibet, this is described as treksho, and in English is simply awareness and letting go, or mindfulness and meditation. The 7th and 8th folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. And now for a moment of housekeeping. This is the Dzogchen Semde Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. And explore rational versus irrational definitions of enlightenment, followed by group meditation and chanting. Those of us who enjoy literature, whether consuming it or composing it or both, are familiar with the term of the untrustworthy narrator. A wonderful example of this would be Kevin Spacey's character in The Usual Suspects. Sturgeon's Law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks. Late-stage capitalism has conditioned us as a human society to be rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. The proto-communism of the distant past. We're going more than 290,000 years in the past. He helped us to evolve, to be flexible, loving, rational, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. Sturgeon's Law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks, that 90% of us, including meditation teachers, are not only still stuck in Yang's religious patriarchy, but we think it's pretty awesome. These are the guys who either A, are so elitist that they use definitions for meditation that are irrational and unattainable and contrary to the Buddha's teachings, that they might better exert control over their minions. Those who do not do this directly do it indirectly by failing to critically question the veracity of the teachings they have received. In the second to the final passage, the penultimate passage of the Buddha's discourse on the four bases of mindfulness, the Satipatthana Sutta, he explained that one could master the Buddha's path in as little as 7 days. That takes elitism and turns it on its head. The Buddha was not elitist, he was egalitarian. He was the meditation teacher for the common person. We now have to wonder, what was the Buddha's definition? You see, so many people prance about the countryside insisting that if someone was fully enlightened, well, they could only perceive certain things, they could only emote certain things, they could only intend certain things, they could only think certain things, they could only remember certain things, they could only imagine certain things. But the Buddha taught the opposite, that we are to be completely vulnerable to perceptions, emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, and imaginings. To all of them, be they external or internal, physical or mental, pleasurable or painful, interesting or boring, glorious or grotesque. That we allow ourselves to feel and experience the full spectrum of human experience. Forgive my redundant choice of wording. If that's the case, then what is the enlightenment that the Buddha offers us? Buddha offers us liberation not from the presence of painful or turbulent perceptions, emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, or imaginings. No, he offers us liberation not from their presence, but from their tyranny. That's huge. The more we master the Buddha's eightfold path, the more our choices and our utterances and our deeds flow not from contrived calculation, not from wild scatteredness, but from love's deeply centered spontaneity. What if enlightenment was nothing more or less than mastering the Buddha's eightfold path, getting so good at these at the 8 tools in the Buddha's tool chest, that we practice them spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. As toddlers and as wee children, we were faced with the seemingly insurmountable tasks of learning to use the toilet instead of our diapers, learning how to brush our teeth, learning how to tie our shoes, learning how to ride a bike. And each of these, in their own way, provided with us a challenge that sometimes drove us to tears. And yet, in a very relatively short period of time, we got so good at using the toilet, brushing our teeth, tying our shoes, riding a bike, that we could do those things spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. Complex life forms on this planet have evolved to be mastery machines. We are wired to master skills. I type much faster now at age 60 than I did at age 18 because though brain damaged I might be, I was able to relatively master the skills of touch typing. We can master the Buddha's techniques of mindfulness and meditation. Quick rule of thumb. Every time we feel air enter our nostrils, we could silently and mentally recite the verb watch, and thus cooperate with the sympathetic nervous system that is the key to mindfulness. Every time we feel breath leave our nostrils, we could silently and mentally recite the verb rest, and thus cooperate with the parasympathetic nervous system that is integral to the meditation, wherein we rest in the non-graspable nature of that which we noticed during our previous inhalation. So potent are the practices of watching mind's antics and resting in its non-graspable nature, that by simply playing with these authentically, consistently, at least once every 12 hours or so, in a remarkably short period of time, we can find ourselves spontaneously enhancing our experience of impermanence and non-graspability. We can find ourselves spontaneously experiencing greater loving intention, greater loving communication. I should say we can find ourselves spontaneously practicing greater kind intention, greater kind communication, greater kind conduct, greater kind commerce. And as I mentioned a few moments ago, we can find ourselves spontaneously experiencing the effortless effort that some call wu wei, that some call going with the flow, that some call expedient means. This is and when we can get so good at this that we don't have to fret about it. We don't fret, we don't brace ourselves to floss our teeth. We don't brace ourselves to lace up our walking shoes. We do these effortlessly. The Enlightenment Buddha offers us is the effortless practice of the eightfold essence of his path. Path whose key is simply watching and resting in harmony with our inhalations and our exhalations. And now for an additional moment of housekeeping. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. For meditating like a Jedi is made possible thanks to the generosity of viewers, just like you. Having completed our additional moment of housekeeping, let us return to the actual practice. Once again, as we feel breath enter our nostrils, let us silently and mentally recite the verb watch. As we feel air exit our nostrils, let us silently and mentally recite the verb rest. Additionally, or as I mentioned a few moments ago, let us continue resting. Let us continue supporting using the tip of our left index finger to support the first knuckle of our right index finger. Let us leap over pride's obstructions to omniscience. This is known in Tibet as Tokal. It can be described in English as passive contemplation or simply the wisdom of letting go. It is as if we have stumbled upon a holocron-like exercises of impermanence, interdependence, and even emptiness. Please chant with me. If you were joining me on the clock app, this might be easier for you to chant along if you join me on the Tube app. If you can see the verbiage on the screen, if you can see the chanting text on the screen as well as my silly face, then you are in the optimal place. There's no need for FOMO. Together. Rather than indulging or controlling tendencies with all follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these wise words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore sidestep the rigidity that confuses metaphors or statements literal, and instead relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. Let us bring our experience of the circumstantial into the wisdom of letting go, the first fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. As we relax into our exhalation, the circumstances or lots we saw during our previous inhalation could feel as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. Let us divide the silent and mental recitation of the following 6-syllable synopsis. Between our inhalation and our exhalation. Into form, all lots melt. No, we don't need to believe this. We don't need to visualize it. All we need to do is silently and mentally recite these words in harmony with our phases of breath. That's all that is required. This is not a path of blind faith. This is not a path of pseudo-intellectualism. This is simply a potent, easy, quick, yogic path. Let us bring our experience of the physical into the path of the wisdom of letting go. As we relax into our exhalation, the bodies or forms we felt during our previous inhalation could feel as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communication or speech. Into speech, all forms melt. Let us bring our experience of the interpersonal into the path of the wisdom of letting go. As we relax into our exhalation, the experience of the interpersonal speech or communication we heard during our previous inhalation could feel as impermanent and interdependent as if it could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this mind. Into mind, all speech melts. In addition to bringing our experience of the mental into the path of the wisdom of letting go, let us also deconstruct the metaphor of emptiness. As we relax into our exhalation, these minds could feel as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into our vast empty void, like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although could look tantalizing to the eye, could feel non-graspable to the hand. Into void, all minds melt. This is our second exercise of slicing through the tyranny of duality's obscuring emotions of dread and desire. This mouthful is succinctly explained in Tibetan as trekcho, and in English as awareness and emptiness, or mindfulness and meditation. Hearing a bizarre sound, is that coming from my side monitor? No. All right. As we feel air enter our nostrils, let us silently and mentally recite the verb watch. As we feel air exit our nostrils, let us silently and mentally recite the verb rest. We now come to this morning's second and final practice of channels, winds, and drops. Known in Tibetan as Tikle, and in English as either bliss and emptiness or simply energy work. As the tip of our left middle finger supports the great knuckle of our right middle finger, palms up in our lap, let us practice the third enlightenment factor's energy work in such a manner that it could feel like the force itself is giving us a hug. Consider this statue in the center of the screen. The bronze represents us, the meditator. The red figure represents either A, the teacher to whom we feel a closest connection, B, the amalgam of all our teachers, real or imagined, or C, simply the personification of the Buddha's teachings. And as mentioned previously, there is no need for blind faith or the rigidity of either faith or visualization. On the yogic path, that is as easy as it is quick, we simply play with the following 6 syllables. Lama, blend with this mind. Please chant with me. Lama, blend with this mind. Lama, blend with this mind. Lama, blend with this mind. We now come to our third of 4 practices of slicing through the tyranny of duality's obscuring emotions of dread and desire, known as Treksho, awareness and emptiness, or simply mindfulness meditation. As we feel our chest swell with breath, we could silently and mentally recite the verb feel. As we feel our chest subtly sink, as gently we exhale, we could silently and mentally recite the verb rest. Let us leap over jealousy's obstructions to omniscience. This is known in Tibet as Tokal, and in English simply as love and emptiness, or the second of two practices, or second of two sets of passive contemplation, wherein we practice the holocron-like exercises of love and letting go, the second through fifth folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. We'll begin by chanting an explanation of this six-syllable mantra together. And of course, if you, or never mind. Om symbolizes mindfulness, Mani symbolizes the wisdom of lotus-like purity. Pemi symbolizes wish or feeling Jew-like love. Hung symbolizes the wish that all beings master such profound love. One moment. Let's make sure this fits. Yay, it fits. Okay. Hung symbolizes the wish that all beings master the wisdom of love and letting go. Let us bring our experience of the mental into the path of love, which is the second fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. May all minds of all beings know be as joyfully enlightened or Bodhi as the mind of a real Lord. Imagine Buddha symbolized by a bija, one syllable seed mantra, heotic clay drop. Let us divide the silent and mental recitation of this six-syllable synopsis between our inhalation and our exhalation. As we breathe in, let us silently and mentally recite Bodhi Joy, and as we exhale, let us silently and mentally recite For All Minds. No, our job is not to contrive a visualization. Our job is not to artificially wring emotion out of our heart as if we were squeezing a dish rag. Our job is simply to silently and mentally recite these words in harmony with our breathing. And now we come to the actual mantra meditation. As we breathe in, we silently and mentally recite the entirety of our loving wish. During our exhalation, we do two things. We physically relax as best we can, while simultaneously striving to chant this six-syllable mantra 4 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Now let us bring our experience of the interpersonal into the path of love, the third fold of the Buddha's eightfold path. May all relationships, communication, or speech of all beings know me as peacefully loving as a real or imagined Buddhist speech or communication symbolized by this horizontal six-syllable mantra. Peaceful love for all speech. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Now let us bring our experience of the physical into the path of love, the fourth fold of the Buddha's eightfold path. May all bodies or forms of all beings know and enjoy the beautiful health as depicted in Buddhist statuary. All the blissful body of a Devi or Yadam and archetype of enlightenment such as kind eyes. Health beauty for all forms. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme Mani Padme Hum. Om 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 Mani Padme Hum. Let us now bring our experience of the circumstantial into the path of love, the fifth fold of the Buddha's eightfold path. And if you have joined me on the Clock app and you wish to chant with me, it might be easier if you used this thing right here. If you can see both my face and the chanting text, you are in the optimal place. Together. May all circumstances, all lots of all beings now have their safety, good fortune. Sorry, let's try this again. May all circumstances, all lots of all beings now have their safety, great fortune, all boon. As O Buddha's real or imagined paradise, pure land of Vati. Great fortune for all lots. We now come to this early morning's final practice of mantra meditation. As we breathe in, we silently and mentally recite the loving wish, great fortune for all lots. As we exhale, we do two things simultaneously. We physically relax as best we can, while simultaneously striving to chant this six-syllable mantra 4 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 We come to our fourth and final practice of slicing through the tyranny of duality's obscuring emotions of dread and desire, known in Tibet as treksho, and in English as awareness and emptiness, or simply mindfulness and meditation. As we feel our chest swell with breath, we can silently and mentally recite the verb feel. As we feel our chest subtly sink, as gently we exhale, we could silently and mentally recite the verb rest. In our compassion may we long to free all beings from the toxic tyranny of dread, desire, and delusion, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. In our pragmatism, may all liberation of all others be fueled by the three Vishra-filling jewels of following the Buddha's example, applying his instructions, and cooperating with his students. Having sat for the better part of an hour, we might find it refreshing to perform 3 repetitions of Tibetan-inspired squat thrusts while conversationally reciting the 8-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted. May we free all through the 3 jewels. This, of course, is, oopsie, Okay, so this, of course, is optional. Okay, here we go. Heels at shoulder width. May we free all through the 3 jewels. May we free all through the 3 jewels. May we free all through the 3 jewels. In about 11 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening lesson and tantric chanting to help us meditate like a Jedi. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.